In the very beginning of Parshas Vayera, we have a lesson for generations. Avram Avinu, the patriarch of the Jewish people, teaches us about what hachnasas orchim is. Welcoming guests, having an open home, allowing visitors to feel that they are part of our families. And we're told that Avram Avinu had a tent which was open on all four sides, that people from all directions should feel welcome. As the Malachim were becoming comfortable in the tent of Avram Avinu, Avram had already begun preparing a meal for them. The Pasuk tells us that the meal was made up of Vayikach chema v'chalav. He took chema, butter, v'chalav, and milk, uben habakar asher asa, and also this meat that he had prepared. Vayitein lifneihem, he placed it in front of them. V'hu omed aleihem tachas ha'etz vayochelu, and he was standing. So it's as if Avraham was hovering over his guests to see if they wanted anything else, that he was there to be at their beck and call, anything he could possibly do to make them feel more at home, to make them feel warm within his tent. And the question that so many have is what Avram gave them to eat seems to be very unkosher. Of course, we can't mix meat and milk together. So how is it that Avram gave these malachim, gave these angels, chema v'chalav, butter and milk, and then gave them, or it seems to be in the same pasuk, in the same verse, that he gave them meat. One cannot have meat, milk, and meat together. So what's the explanation? So the Imrei Emes Ger Rebbe had two possible explanations. He says, first, if you look at the order of the pasuk, it says, Vayikach chema v'chalav. First he gave them milk and butter. Afterwards, it says he gave them meat. The halacha is that one is allowed to eat milk and dairy products before they eat meat, but the opposite that one cannot have. In other words, if there's a separation between eating milk products and then one eats meat product, that's perfectly permissible according to the halacha. But the opposite, having meat first followed by milk, that's considered to be unkosher. So in this case, Avram Avinu first gave them the milk products, and then he gave them the meat products, and that would also fit in to the order of the psukim. That's possibly one explanation. The second explanation of the Imrei Emes is based on a story that he experienced. He was once visiting Vienna, and a particular chassid had invited the Imrei Emes to stay by his house and to eat by his home, to be a guest by him. And the Imrei Emes walks in to the individual's house, and the individual says to the Rebbe, I have whatever it is that the Rebbe wants to eat. And he pointed to two tables. On one table he had dairy foods prepared, on the other table he had meat foods prepared. So the Imrei Emes realizes at that point, this is what the pasuk must have been talking about. That perhaps Avram Avinu had placed for the malachim, for the angels, a dairy table and a meat table. On the dairy table there was butter and there was milk, and on the meat table there was meat. And the message that Avram gave to the malachim, gave to the angels is, whatever you want to eat, whatever you're in the mood for, whatever you're hungry for, either the dairy or the meat. If you want to eat both, then realize the dairy comes first. That's why that's first in the order of the pasuk, in the order of the verse. But giving them the message that they should feel welcome in his home to eat whatever it is that they wanted to eat. We tried to learn this mitzvah of achnasas orchim, of welcoming guests, from Avram Avinu. And we see the length to which Avram our patriarch, went to make sure that people felt comfortable in his surroundings, in his home. It's a great lesson for us, especially in modern times, to be able to try to make an oreach, to try to make a guest feel not as if they are a burden to us, but that is our greatest pleasure for us to be able to host them and share of ourselves with them, share of our homes and our families with them, and be able for them to experience as if, even though they are away from home, as if they are still at home within our home. May we be zoche to fulfill the mitzvah of achnasas orchim as Avram Avinu had desired for himself and for us, his children. Thank you for listening, and have a good Shabbos.